is a little bit of On the Other Hand Baby, an Etta Baker original, one of her more unique tunes. I've heard it described as a more modern blues tune. A lot of those licks, though, you would have heard Lonnie Johnson or Skip James play. It does have more of a Memphis or a little bit of a Chicago sound to it. You know, you can definitely hear a little John Lee Hooker influence in there and such as that. And, you know, it is important to always remember that Miss Baker was not stuck in a certain time. She was this great link between really Victorian parlor music of the late 1800s to the Piedmont blues tradition of the 20s and the ragtime styles and the boogie music of the 40s, and then moving into the 50s and 60s with more modern blues. And she played it all. And she also played country music. So this is a really neat one. It does not have the alternating bass that the Piedmont style is known for. That's why it has a more modern sound to it. And she also used a couple of jazzier chords like the sixes. Very easy. Sound great, but they're super easy to play. So let's get into this. First of all, just hit it's in E. The whole song's in E. You're really only going to play quarterly an E and a B7. So we'll hit an open E, and then we're going to slide from the 4th fret, 2nd string, up to the 9th. And we'll go about 6 times. That's depending on how, if you get a, you can do it that way, or just go. Now that's the best of my recollection, the way she did that, and I did find a video online, watched it, seemed similar. So you're going, that's the 9th and 7th fret, and then just slide it down, and then when we get to here, I think that's right. That's the way it sounds to me anyway. I also could have sworn she had some lyrics to this song, but I went through all the recordings I could find, couldn't find any lyrics. I used some of those like music search sites looking for lyrics, couldn't find them. But you know, I was a teenager, 15 or so, when I used to hang around her, and maybe she did have some lyrics at that point, and they never got recorded. I don't know. I wish I remembered them, but I could have sworn she had some lyrics. So anyway. So you're actually going to end on a sort of a partial D chord, if you want to think of it that way. And then slide from the 4th to the 6th on the 3rd string. So that's A, E, what would that be? G flat. Is that right? No, G natural. Okay, so it's G natural because the blues scale utilizes a flat 3rd. So it's not a G sharp, it's G natural. Alright, so let's do that again. And do bend it. Alright, that's the first time. Next you go a little bit of a form. So that's just sliding from the 3rd fret and open on the A string. So, and there's just a couple pull-offs. And that's just taking this, I guess, sort of an A minor kind of shape. And slide it up 2 frets into an E chord. Standard little walk up there to a B7. And you can drag your thumb across if you like it, or you can pick it. whatever sounds better to you. And then back to this time we go. So from the B down to the A, G, E. Alright, let's put that in context. Alright. Play that a couple times, and then we're actually going to play basically the same notes here, but we'll move them up here by going where are we here? Alright, so we're going to grab the 2nd string 12th fret and the 3rd string 13th fret and go very simple, right? We're just sliding up. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then, and that's that great jazzy sounding 6 chord. It's just an E6 going down to a D6. So put one finger bar across, and you could do it up. I think she usually did up, or you can do it down. Totally up to you. I actually prefer the sound of it down with a bare thumb, but yeah, you can do it either way. And then we're back here. It's that simple. So I'll do it one more time, just the 2 parts through slowly. A lot of times with her instrumentals, she'd play the same thing maybe 3 times, and then another part 2 times, and go back to it, and then it would sound fresh to the ear. I mean, she could play the same thing for 3-4 minutes, and it was, you know, nothing more than just something like this, you know. So let's see. Thinking about it, made a few mistakes, but you know, I think you got the gist of it. So have fun with it, play around with it, get in touch with me if you have any questions. You can always email me, judson@judsoncarroll.com, or leave a comment in the comment section under the video. I believe this is going to wrap up our little series we've been doing on Etta Baker, unless another one of her classics comes to mind. But this is one I want to save to the end because it's really her more modern tune. We've really moved from a very old style playing that originated, you know, in the late 1800s up into about a 50s, 60s style blues instrumental. And of course, she often played a beautiful Gibson yellow top, well, the whole thing's yellow. I believe it was an SG, or it could have been an even older, well, the SG's one, I guess the oldest model, but I can't remember the exact model numbers. So she also didn't limit herself to acoustic guitar, like a lot of the Piedmont blues players do, and the more traditional Delta blues players. Interestingly enough, Doc Watson also played electric guitar, and he and Miss Baker were good friends. And if you ever want to hear Doc play some really great electric guitar, get an album called Dockabilly, where he went back to kind of his roots in the 50s, where, you know, he grew up playing old time and bluegrass music. Well, he got really heavy into rockabilly, and he could tear it up. And Junior Brown's on the album, and I mean, it's fantastic. So don't think that you only can play this kind of music on acoustic. You can absolutely play it on electric. Maybe one of these days I'll break out my Telecaster and, you know, we'll get into that. But because this tune in particular does sound good, you know, on an electric. Put a little reverb in there, maybe a little echo if you have it, and just a pinch of overdrive. Just a pinch. Just kind of get those dirty tones when you go. And it does sound good. I mean, it's actually a very impressive tune. I used to play it a lot when I worked at a guitar shop in Athens, Georgia, and people would just, you know, guitarists go, what is that? I've never heard that tune. That's a great tune. Show me that trick, you know. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's really easy. I learned this, you know, when I was a kid from Miss Baker, and, you know, it was fun. Fun days. Y'all have a good one. I'll talk to you next week.